reminding me, reflective of when, okay, the Trinity, right? When we say like the Trinity, infinity flow, right? But let's say they have the feminine energy locked off in one place here and create a loop with us over here without connection to that knowledge, that connection you just before was talking about, right? So they lock us off in a part of the mind where we don't have connection to the other part of the mind. So it's like the infinity loop is the brain, right? That infinity 8 is the brain, but they keep you locked in one chamber of that shit over here. But now the feminine energy is broken through, so now we can relax, we can get back into the flow and get back into connection with the energy coming through and everything flowing through the circuit. Now they had the circuit blocked in a loop, like.
Okay, now you just described a conceptual physics formula using the brain to describe what was done in order to put us in what's called the infinity loop.
Yeah, bro, like I know this shit just naturally though. Like look, I know it. Like yeah, you're giving me. You see what I said?
Yeah, all this is the science behind it. So the infinity loop.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's because we're in the third and the fourth dimension at the same. We're living in two dimensions at the same time. Because the fourth dimension was collapsed in on the third dimension, so that we would require some shit called sleep to navigate both realities.
Bro, wait. Elder, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just watching the gameplay for the new Mortal Kombat 1. You know the new game, Mortal Kombat. They just came up with a new one. Family, the whole premise of that game is a 2 timelines, 2 dimensions. This nigga Geras is like this. I've never seen this in 100 billion timelines. 2 timelines at the same time, expanding it to exactly what you just said. Elder, yo, you're bringing tears to my eyes right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm serious. Nah, yo, go ahead. Elder, go ahead, man. I had to say that shit. You bring tears to my eyes. I'm serious.
So we know from physics that the dimensions spiral up.
Yes, sir.
Like
a
spring.
Up. Yes. Notcha.
Now, you take that spring and you pinch 2 of them together.
Yeah, man.
You can't get out of the infinity loop only in one spot.
Right.
So you got to get to a point where the time.
0 point.
Right, yep, it's a 0 point. It's the 0 point of a collapse, right?
Yes, sir.
From years ago. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened, and then it's going to click for you.
Let's go.
CERN is a old-ass device. It ain't new.
No, it's not. It's not.
They opened the portal up between 3 dimension and 4th dimension.
Ooh.
And they set off a nuclear explosion and closed the portal.
Yes, sir.
It caused the 4th dimensional frequency and the 3rd dimensional frequency to jam together at one end of the loop.
Oh, fuck.
So instead of spiraling up, we've been going around the bottom, around the top.
Like you're flushing a toilet and you're just going around like this.
Right.
Before flushing.
Except that when you get to the point where the 4th dimension and the 3rd dimension are together, you go up, and now you're living in what's called the upside down.
And now you're kind of like in limbo.
Yep. You're living in the upside down. That's the upside down. Because you're living on the bottom of the 4th dimension.
Damn.
On top of the while you in the 3rd dimension.
Exactly, King. Okay,
now
I get it.
So
guys, take your notes. Take your time and fill. No, for real.
In the metaphysics, they say, how do you jump the infinity loop?
Let's go.
Nobody knew how to jump the infinity loop.
Gotcha.
If you don't know African root science, you will not be able to sing "No Woman, No Cry." And know what you're talking about.
And all right, got you. Wow, no woman, no cry. Yo, got you. Yo,
right.
Yes, Elder, I get you.
So now we needed all of the masters that were stuck in the infinity loop together.
Yes.
To be born at the same time. At the close of the age. The age got to close where they touch.
Wow. That's why we're here now? That's why we're here now? Is that what you're saying? That's why we're here now?
We all came.
Let's go. It make okay, elders. Got
All of the
you.
primordial gods, all of the great mystics,
Wow.
all of the great, they ain't just here. Guess where they at here?
Talk to me. Right here.
They on
On the council.
in the words of Rakim, one national man on one national land.
Yes, we're in America.
Right. So now they understand why Haile Selassie came back as Ermias Ashkedam, aka Nipsey Hussle.
Whoa.
Then they understand why Tupac Amaru came back.
Like you look just like Selassie, right? For real. Like you deep, elder. Let's go. I ain't say go ahead.
So then they understand why Tupac Amaru, the Conqueror,
yes,
he come back as Tupac Shakur.
Got it.
Always thankful to God because Big Mama don't play.
Don't fuck around. And everything
they know why the Taurus, aka Christopher Wallace,
woo,
that's Chief Sitting Bull, who was sitting on his post when the invaders came, so he took a public flogging from a West Coast chief. You let them motherfuckers on the land and ain't send us no message. Big Mama sent us one from down there in the Gullah Wars, and you ain't. Vatican, right? The brothers need to be aware that there are people trying to take the women and harm them in order to keep this shit dragged out. They're trying to take the children for the same reason. The bloodletting rituals that they was trying to do has been greatly interrupted, but it hasn't came to a complete stop. They still have small pockets of adrenochrome shots that haven't been located yet because you can smell it in the atmosphere. The other thing is the sisters. Ground your energy to the earth. Put your bare feet on Mother Earth, not the concrete, not the blacktop, the earth, the grass, the soil, the gravel, the sand, the water, ground out with the earth. And she gonna start telling y'all where y'all need to be. The more y'all do it, the more of y'all wake up. Every time a sister heal herself, she healed 1,000. Mm-hmm. So keep focusing on your shadow work. The shit you don't like other people do, make sure you don't do that. Everybody that get on your nerves, use them for a mirror to make sure you're not doing the same shit that's annoying to you, to other people. That's the beginning of shadow work. Once you get that part down, the rest of it gonna go on autopilot, and you'll start cleaning up all of the shit that you was miseducated about yourself. Right? So keep the yoni sacred. Beware of those that's trying to desecrate the holy places by removing mammary glands and uteruses. And remember, most of these niggas talk about they woke. All they trying to do is be a pulpit pimp like the old preachers used to be. So I think that's about it. This shit about to come tumbling down.
It's a wrap. It's a beautiful time to be alive, y'all, in this realm anyway.
Yeah. And don't fall for the fear mongering. Ain't nothing to fear from here.
They can't do nothing now worse than what's already been done.
Mm-hmm.
The shit they already did is worse than anything they could do from here forward.
So you heard it from the man. Wait, what you call yourself? Remember when we was talking about they was talking about GD or Gangster Disciples? What'd you call yourself?
Growth and development.
Yeah, it wasn't growth and development. You said you called yourself something. You have like some nickname.
I got a couple of them, but it might be the SikApe because that's my new Instagram is the SikApe. THESIK. Yeah, THESIKAPE.
Well, you heard it.
SikApe is an acronym. Soldiers and Illuminati are present everywhere.
Okay.
Outlaws in this bitch.
Period. Somebody dropped gorillas. All right. Well, y'all, we finna go. Have a great rest of the evening. Thank you, Rye. You know me and you, this ain't the end of us, but it's the end of this live. So it was great building with y'all, and everybody have a good evening, a good night, a good next day. I'm going to the farmer's market tomorrow. Hopefully I find some seeded fruit.
Oh, when you brought up the fruit, the food shortage cause is the removal of GMOs from the market. All GMOs have to go. That's a direct order from the Queen of Heaven and Earth. That's what you see in the food shortage is coming. Okay. They're getting rid of all of the GMO shit. That's why they have all of these slaughterhouses burning up, warehouses catching on fire and shit, cows dropping dead. They're not dropping dead. The GMOs got to go. The GMOs is what's killing us internally, slowly. So that shit got to get off the market. So in the process, it's going to leave a vacuum in the available food supply. So get your seeds and plant you something next year. Yeah. But it might be too late for a lot of people because we only going to have like a 60-day drought at the most before we start ramping back under the new system.
Okay.
And learn family banking. I can't stress that enough. If you want to get your family inheritance, learn family banking and try to connect with at least one family member a week or a day that you never spoke to before, because y'all gonna need each other. When y'all trace back to a common matriarch, all of the ones that fall under that banner is gonna have to get along or don't get y'all shit. So y'all gonna have to figure that out between the family members. Y'all niggas gonna get along. Y'all gonna find some goddamn unity, or y'all gonna be the motherfucking poverty motherfuckers.
You heard him. You know I'm gonna get with you because I need more one-on-one about what you was talking about with these family banks. Because guess what? It's crazy you said that because Jules been dropped to me that I'm gonna have a bank. So that's why I was just like, okay.
That's called a confirmation knock right there.
Exactly, that part. Yep. So, all right, y'all. Well, we're gonna end this live stream. It was so much love. Thank you. Appreciate you. So much gratitude. Gratitude to Mother, our ancestors, and Rod Hayes for being here. So,
thanks, Dre. I appreciate you. Look at the family crest, and for some strange reason, you got people that look like us on there. Think about that while I take this sip. On the crest for the European royal families, they look like us. But they ain't us. Because if they was us, we would have knew. You see? Because we would have had a historical record of it being us. That ain't us. That's some imposters. So what did they do? Now, I told y'all they used the European, the minority group, to attack the larger groups, to perpetuate the divide and conquer. So as soon as we figure it out, we can go haywire and start killing white people. And the race war is the illusion. The race war that they want to start is the illusion. That's the way for them to get us fighting each other so they can get right back in power and sit behind the scenes. Now you got to remember, we are in what they call the Kali Yuga state. We're coming out of that now. That's what you call the phase of the hidden gods. These watered down fake gods, went to South Africa so that they could try to make it look like a slave trade. There was never a slave trade. It's what you're not understanding. We invited those pale-skinned Europeans over here to get a drop of blood so that they can earn the right to ascend through the great melting pot process, the same as we did for China, Japan, and various other parts of the world when they did it to them. So now here we go again. They want to try to pit us against the European under the false pretenses of police shooting us in the back, killing these kids. And they actually killing people that's unawares of who and what they are. Only certain people are allowed to kill certain people. Because y'all don't understand that, because that's a higher law. In the lower realms, when your vibration is low and you are in a slumber state, you can't quite see everything clearly. And so you start to become confused, and then they have turn you on your own because they can't just kill us like that. If we stop killing each other, they in trouble. If we stop killing each other in the streets, they in trouble. So what do? A dog in every fight, right? They tried to make us turn on each other by promoting gang life. When did they do it? And how did they get the message to us? Well, they started it with with entertainment. If you go back, you have always had people that click together for survival purposes in small groups. And the small groups normally didn't prey on each other and they didn't conflict. They normally, when they encountered each other, it was a mutual respect between these groups that they end up calling them gangs. When you do your research on the history of the gang, they end up taking you back to the Empire State and starving children in the boroughs. These starving children in the boroughs was joining together to go and steal food from merchants that was on the in the Manhattan area, where all of the money was being coagulated. They was condensing the money to build what they call Manhattan, which is the Diamond Coast and all that in New York, where all of the money is concentrated at to this day. Wall Street, all that. As they were doing this, they think that we wasn't gonna figure it out. You got to be out your mind. And so in the Empire State, King Kong climbs the Empire State Building and they shoots him down and kills him. Okay. I understand your point that you're trying to make. And we ain't falling for it. King Kong ain't gonna fall. Y'all got down when he was asleep. You see. Y'all got down when the King of the Congo was asleep. Now he beating on his chest, swinging from these lampposts, pounding this concrete, and all of these motherfucking baby gorillas is around this motherfucker lining up. The 100 monkey effect taking full flight. You can't stop it. It's an unstoppable move. We know who you are. We know what you did. You can put your motherfucking shit down, pack your bags, and get ready to go, because you're not staying here. I don't know where you're going, but you will not stay here. If you stay here, we will send you somewhere else. Now, dog in every fight. Our Black Keystone Rangers, or our Black Power Stones. Yeah, look at your Power Rangers. We got signals in all forms of entertainment where we alert each other. Every form of mysticism, good and bad, we got somebody there. I'm going to give you an example, because I'm a bad boy with this shit. You dig? I'm a bad boy. And I ride rough on these motherfuckers. They don't see it coming. So, everybody think that I don't see what I see, just because I don't speak on it. Big G dropped some jewels, and I picked every one of them up. Because you can't know what's going on unless you know what's going on. Understand me? Understand? You can't know what's going on unless you know what's going on. So, before I rain this purple shit on their ass, before I give them a thriller, I'm going to continue dropping little pieces in here for the brethren so that they'll know I'm ready for the move. I'm about to journey home. I think I hear somebody calling me in the distance. I'm just east to where she at, and she in the west, or just west of where I'm at. I'm sitting here in the right hand of Mother Earth. The right hand, only one place on earth where you gonna find a right hand glove, a mitten, the motherfucking murder mitten. Now, If the Jewish symbol is a black fist and they don't like black people, why we ain't paying that attention? Let's look at something else. La Cosa Nostra, also known as the Black Hen, was set at Sicily. But the La Cosa Nostra was a different hen. Actually, it was a foot. They was under the heel. They were Sicilians. Well, how did they get to Sicily? When Hannibal made his conquest, they rounded up all of his offspring because he was trying to spread that drop of blood in the process of making his overthrow of Rome. And they took all of the children to try to stop the drop of blood because they didn't want them to ever have a right to ascend and to come back and aid in the struggle for the liberation of planet Earth. So they rounded them all up and they put them on the island of Sicily, the sequestral. Ain't that right, Uncle Dago? Ain't that how it go? And so when they put them all on the island of Sicily, they figured they had them quarantined sufficiently enough that we wouldn't never be able to communicate. They got to be crazy. So we set something up over there. You call it today El Mafioso. We call it La Cosa Nostra, like them black-faced Sicilians. I see that leader over there, but that leader ain't a real one. So I was going to do some poetry, and I was listening to this beautiful poem about how these women be abused by these wicked motherfuckers going upside their head and shit. And it gave me a flashback of a time, in another lifetime, when they wanted to remove a woman from her rightful position. They want to remove her from her rightful position so they can undermine her. Yakub, supplanters, underminers. We know y'all are. All of the imposters has been revealed. The signs of righteousness ain't for no games. You know? So, Crowley had to tell you, do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. But he ain't tell it all to you. I ain't gonna get into that. I'm just using that for my brothers to know what moves to make next. Because they already know. But for those watching, y'all might be confused and think I'm babbling. I'm not babbling. Everything I'm dropping is for a purpose. We are past that now. They reign is up. The contract expired. See, they had to contract us as servitude in a certain way. It's your 14th Amendment. Involuntary servitude is your 14th. Voluntary servitude, or what they call meritorious manumission, meaning of your own accord. You can roam about this land of your own accord, but you have to pay what they call taxes. And as long as you are in your 3/5 state, they can tax you up to 3/5 of your of who you are. Because and under the ancient code of kings, you can't tax a god. They think we forgot. And you ain't forget. And then look at it and say, in all natives, non-tax. Gotta pay that attention. All natives, non-taxed. But they're gonna make it in a way where they can tax them later. See, that's where they messed up. They're breaking the contract by deception and think we're not gonna figure it out. And the laws say adhesion contracts are non-enforceable. Contracts by using duress is non-enforceable. Contracts by using deception is non-enforceable. So you got these people who are following the contract because they believe that the contract is an enforceable contract. The whole judicial system is predicated upon a false contract. That contract can't be enforced beyond this point. For one, the court contract expired. Look at your seals on your dollar, and you'll know who is behind it. And Enlil is the eagle. And the sons of righteousness is the pyramid. The contract is between the two. Right? Pay attention. I'm not going to go too deep into it right now. I'm going to come back to it later. I'm not going to leave y'all hanging, though, because I got to give y'all other people to give y'all information to clarify what I'm saying. And then now in this one, it should sound like I'm slightly cutting short on information. That's because I'm activating each one of the ones who hold a piece to the puzzle to do their part. Because we all got to do our part, and we all got to work together. Don't send your kids out there to fight for these animals. Don't let them deceive you. I'm going to post a Dane Calloway video on my page. I want y'all to check it out. And a couple more videos I'm going to post. I want y'all to check them out. I ain't going to hold this one real long because we got brothers waiting on me to shut up so they can do their part. And now that I done did this, and the Prime has spoke, and they all know what moves to make next, All those, surf YouTube, see what you can find. Yeah, Juanita, he the truth. He the truth. I like to call him the great Dane Calloway, because I like dogs, One of these days I'm gonna roll up with about 60 dogs. Motherfucker gonna be fucked up. I like dogs. Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. And the last person I want to address is this rotten ass king that's been trying to steal all of the money from my sons as combat warriors for many years. He ain't in the game no more because he knew I was here and he got scared and ran. You can pick your hair up like a crown. You owe my son money. Don motherfucking King. Babylon the Great falling and you gonna announce it. Then what you gonna do? You gonna make sure that Mike Tyson is properly compensated for that theft. We ain't forgot about what you did, you rotten ass bastard. I'm coming for your motherfucking hair and I'm gonna shave your crown off. Understand what I'm telling you? I'm gonna throw your ass in the ring with Iron Mike Tyson if he don't get properly compensated for what you did to him. You got Customato bothering me every goddamn day about that shit, Don. How y'all sabotaged his career. How you set him up to take a fall for a rape case. You think I wasn't watching? You rotten bastard. I seen it. I know who you are, you imposter ass motherfucker. Excuse my language, y'all, but it gets me hot under the collar when you take a righteous man and you undermine him as he try to pull himself up from the gutter. Mike Tyson came from the bottom of the bottom. Now here I hear Customato crying to me talking about you got to make him finish. They can't take his career like that. So when I see Mike, I'm going to tell him what Customato told me. He said, put the bookends on their ass and they can't take you out of the books as being the greatest of all time. You was the youngest heavyweight champion in the world. Be the oldest. You was the youngest, not be the oldest. That's what he told me to tell you. He told me to go back to get all of your videos where you was training with him and do everything he taught you all over again from zero. And then go back and get the belts. It ain't going to be easy, Mike. You know it ain't supposed to be. But you got to do your part. Don bitch ass King gonna get off his ass and he gonna promote your shit for free and you gonna take your part of the money in totality like he took all of your part before and passed it out among his family members. I know what the fuck he did. So if he's smart and he don't want to cooperate, he's just gonna have a heart attack and drop dead now out of fear. Because he going in the ring with Iron Mike Tyson with his old ass if he don't get his money straight. I'm letting y'all know that now. This is my watch. This is how it's going to play out. We're not going to send nobody in the streets to get killed. Everybody going to answer for their own indiscretions individually. Don King done it. He going to answer for it. I don't care if he 106. He getting his ass in the ring with Iron Mike Tyson to straighten this shit out, old rotten bastard. He know what he did. You don't never do that to nobody, giving them rape cases and paying them girls to lie on them like that. You set him up. I know you set him up. I seen it when you did it. I was watching. You thought I wasn't watching? Getting with them motherfuckers all about a goddamn dollar. Because he won't take a dive for your fat ass, stinking bastard. So, I got a brother that I'm going to have watching you over your head. He going to be watching your head and he going to help make sure Mike money tight. The same way he do for Mayweather. I ain't going to say who he is in public because he don't like to be announced like that. He know who he is, though. And he waiting on this so he can make you do what the fuck you supposed to do and do right by that man. First thing you need to do is you need to write him a check out the gate for about at least $100 million. That's just to get started because all of the money you took from him plus interest well exceed that. So, he couldn't get down on Ali like that because Ali had backing that he couldn't overcome. So he had to let Ali get his money. But he did it to a lot of fighters. But my prize fighter, my warrior, I wanted these kids to see another way out from the gutter, from these youth homes when y'all locking them up like cattle. I wanted them to see that their life ain't over because they was born at the bottom without nothing. They can get up with a little bit of help from somebody that actually loved them genuinely. They can get back up to their feet. Rahubat. And so you want to sabotage his career for some money. That's what the problem is. All y'all want some money. All you entitled, greedy, lazy, slothful motherfuckers think that y'all entitled to what somebody else hard working labor earned. That entitlement shit is over. If you don't earn it, you don't take it from nobody. What we do around here is we earn what we get. So, before I go get my sons out of there, I want y'all to remember, do as thou wilt should be the whole of the law, but the will must be under the governance of the love. That's will under love. So when you marry those two, divine masculine and divine feminine, you have heaven on earth for the self. And so I just wanted to tell the brothers who was up next to stand up and let everybody know that I see clearly. I'm going to give y'all an example. Son of the Jackal, born June 6, 1966, on one of my alternate Facebook pages. I did a whole thing on who he was. So y'all wonder why he didn't have a birth certificate, and then when they produced one, it was fabricated. That's because before you get to see, you know what? I'm going to post a picture. Look at the picture and examine it. You're going to see two brothers standing side by side. One with a dog head, one with the hawk head. And then it'll help make a little bit more sense. Make a little bit more sense. And from there, we on this march to victory. And we can't be stopped. And we not going to fall for the shenanigans. They're not finna send us out here with no trumped up race war initiated by the policy enforcers. If one motherfucker shoot one motherfucker, then one motherfucker gets shot back. That's it. That's the way it go. And we don't send whole groups of people to die for nothing. For money. For greed. The sustenance of this planet should pay for your necessities. Water, lights, gas, electric. You ain't supposed to have, them not supposed to be bills. That shit here. Electricity, Nikola Tesla tried to give it away free. What'd they do? He got smothered by the black hand, they beat him to death for giving away free electricity. Water free. So what do they got to do? They poison the water so they got to filter it out and clean it so you can drink it. That way you can't get free water. We see it. We see it. The gas, it was already there. They had the right to mine it and to earn something for that process. But they don't have the right to monopolize any of it because it was already here. Mother Earth gave us these things for our own sustenance to take care and maintain us. She didn't give it to us to have 10 people rich while 10 billion be suffering. That's not fair. That's not equitable. And justice don't work that way. Might don't work that way. Perfect balance don't work that way. So, we finna move in unison on a steady climb to the top. Tell everybody that you know, don't participate in the ignorance, the folly, and the foolishness. Don't fall for the divide and conquer. Show each other that brotherly love. Remember, the capital of this land was never Washington, D.C. The capital of this land was Philadelphia. And when the great melting pot allowed these people to come over here to get their drop of blood so that they could have right, like everybody else, to entertain divine wisdom and divine love within the self without self-destructing like Stephen Hawking, who was an example for y'all, a frame of reference. He had to have that. See, they was exploiting his psychology, his mindset. And this is what he was taught. This is why he always talked about he was an atheist. He wasn't an atheist because at the end when they started opening up CERN, you watch what he said, he panicked because he knew what was coming. He wasn't no fool. But when they started firing like that, that left brain started firing like that, it short-circuited the right side in some cases. But in his case, it caused the whole brain to seize up. And because if he gets some love energy, he can ascend. If he gets some of that love energy in there, he can ascend. And that's what they didn't want. So he was self-sacrificing to make sure that we know what's what. So I'm going to cut this one short. I'm going to come back on probably later on today, give y'all some more information. I want to go visit a couple of my friends. So I'm going to make some moves from here, and I'm out. Keep your head.
Motherfucker ever born. It's a Sun Wukong story to the Chinese. People in India say it's a Hanuman story. Over here, they say it's Quetzalcoatl. But whatever the fuck it is, Daytime is up. Our time is now. We back for our shit.
Yep.
We weren't fighting for nobody else shit. We just want ours. If it ain't ours, we don't want it.
Yep.
I don't want somebody else shit. All he want was mine.
Exactly. That's how people gotta understand. Like, even we thinking that it's gonna happen in a certain way. I'm like, no. Even you take a look at what's going on in Venezuela. I just saw somebody freaking out about what was going on in Venezuela. With Venezuela, they freed everybody in their prisons, right? Their economy collapsed. They freed everybody in their prisons. Well, what the fuck you think is gonna happen over here? United States is finished.
It's gonna happen over here too.
All our political prisoners will be free. Prisoners will be free. Everybody that was wrongfully locked up is gonna be free, and we're gonna get our shit back.
All of them wrongfully locked up.
Yeah, basically, So,
I just want to be the one go get my homeboy Killer Miller out of Marquette Penitentiary in upstate Michigan. I want to be the one go pop his motherfucking gate. I want to bring him out personally because he don't want to see the motherfuckers policy enforcers because it's war on site. So I just rather go get him myself.
Right. Yep.
And if it's war on site, it's war on site, nigga. I'm riding with him.
Right.
He in good shape. He know how to fight.
Yeah. That's that time. It's like right now we're in a time period where it's like, this is not the time to be worrying. This is the time to be manifesting. This is the time to be, like getting back to your land, listening to what nature got to tell you. It's time to go back to where you're from. It's time to put your feet on the ground, listen to what Mother Nature telling you, pay attention to your dreams, cut the phones off, and all that. Pay attention. Go where you're supposed to go, because that is going to be what's yours. Everything has to be returned back to us at this time. Period. There's no other way around it. No other way.
Hey, I sent you down a rabbit hole of research since I've been knowing you, ain't I?
Yeah, I've been. What you say? Hey, Spirit telling me, all right, this is what he said. Go back, find this, find that, find it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find the shit. It's not gonna be no okay. This is what he said. It may take a month. It may take a few months. Hell, it may even take 6 months. But I'm gonna find the shit. It's gonna come to me, right? So I appreciate that. Like actually figuring this shit out. That yeah, we really not supposed to be touching the forms because the shit is copyrighted. Why the fuck would I put my intellectual property on some shit that's copyrighted? And then they tell me I need a license for some shit that's copyrighted. That don't have anything to do with us. Never will have anything to do with us. So I appreciate that because it came right away. So now y'all can do the research on it yourself.
So I did went through the Indigenous Rights Act for a reason, because only way they tell us it's a blueprint to the application of your autonomous rights.
Yeah.
One of the critical things in there is to say that they won't interfere if we go back to our oral traditions.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back to our oral traditions, that grandfather us in to everything before 1492.
Yep.
So we have to remember that. If you got a grandmama or a big mama that got a grievance and she put that shit in the public domain according to the oral tradition, the government has to fix the problem. They government won't do it. So it's almost like a conjure calling our government to solve our own problems for ourselves. By having the big mamas in the community speaking up, it called the community to action in a different kind of way than a draft would for a soldier. It doesn't work like that. It activates your energy centers. That's why Mama T, she used that age app to make you look older. It's a filter. Mm-hmm. and when she tell the story looking like a big mama, the response is fucking ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I put her up one time. People be sending me, I watch her on TikTok, but people be sending me all her YouTube shit, everything. They just be sending it to me. Like, I already fuck with her. You had to send it to me, I already fuck with her. But I found a brother on Facebook. I put up some stuff from him. He been going ham with the knowledge, right? I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna do another live, and I'm gonna talk about other people like Karimo on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
The
Karimo.
rise of the Marukan. Right. That's his tribal landmass over there. He one of the Tupac boys.
Right. Then that brother had educated me, and I had educated our family because my mother's lineage is Costa Rican. They still live there. I go there at least once or twice a year. And I was telling them, we're Mexica, we're Sigua, right? And telling them about Karimio's knowledge because that landmass called Costa Rica was called Talamanca. They kept telling us, like I went to one of my family members' homes, and they have the tracks, how they made the tracks in the 1800s. They still had it in the basement, right, from the 1800s. And they brainwashed us into believing that we were Jamaican. And I said, no, we didn't come over from Jamaica to Costa Rica. We were in Costa Rica already. But they have this big thing in Costa Rica where they say, no, none of y'all existed over here, right? The Spaniards were the ones that was here. And it's like, no, we were here. We were the Mexica. We were
So
dark.
all of those islands, most of the people don't know they ain't directly from Africa. They indigenous clans from Cuba, Dominica, Puerto Rico, Haiti. All those are indigenous tribes down there. And they did have interactions with Western Africa for thousands of years. And the royal families of the Americas on the eastern seaboard, north and south, central, all the royal families exchange brides among the royal families as a blood diversification program, right? Because in the royal families, the incest was common. So to keep the genes diversified, they would marry across the water because they got an entirely different strain of blood. But like it's indigenous people to South America that got sickle cell. They've been there the whole time. But they got malaria and mosquitoes down there too.
Yep.
The sickle cell trait, when the new frequency come in, it's gonna be something special. Inky did that shit. The mosquito and malaria, that was Enlil, one of his plagues. Inky created the sickle cell to protect the human from the malaria. When the DNA upgrade, it's supposed to upgrade the function of those people. They gonna be something special. I don't know what the fuck they gonna be, but for him to do it, they gonna be some special shit, and I want to see it because I know some people with sickle cell with some good motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They just had sickle cell, you know. Prodigy.
Yeah.
Prodigy, Mob Deep. You know, they say he died, but I can't find him on the ethers dead. I looked for him. I'm inclined to believe he was extracted because I can't find him dead on the ethers.
All right. And Prodigy said a lot of shit now. He said a lot of things.
I know they had to extract ODB because they was trying to kill him for real. Right. He had to piss George Bush and them off playing Chief Crazy Horse because you know that's who he was playing, right?
Really?
Yeah.
You told us about that one.
Yeah. And so they definitely wanted him dead. That motherfucker wouldn't shut the fuck up. He fuck around and wake all these niggas up.
Right.
Trying to act. He be doing that old ODB shit, but then he tell you some real ass shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's interesting right there. That's very interesting right there. And it's funny you talk about the sickle cell because other countries outside of this one have a tendency to treat it better.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that the people down there have it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not common down there, how the fuck y'all know how to treat it better than how we know how to treat it up here?
Mm-hmm.
It's not until we leave here that we figure that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's all by design.
Our elders know how to treat everything.
Yeah.
The only problem is we believe Western medicine with their copyrighted medications. You got to remember that trademark, copyrighted, federally protected by the Food and Drug Administration, and the American Medical Association is their promotional and distribution wing of narcotics. It's a whole cartel. But because they put out pamphlets and paperwork, we believe they more legitimate than that nigga selling crack on the street when they the same amount of legitimate.
Same amount. Yep. They just want him to be registered. They want him to be taxable.
The illusion of legitimacy comes with the paperwork.
Right.
Right. That's the illusion. It's because they got us conditioned that the paperwork is the validation.
Yep.
Right? Because they started off by asking us for our slave papers. Now they ask us for an ID. Your slave papers for the ones who was at Big Mama had to give you a pass so that the pale face don't mess with you. When Big Mama married the Dirty Moor, he made us believe that the pale face was the slave owner, and all the time he owned the plantation. And he lost it through sharecropping agreements, trying to be slick.
You know what's so crazy too? It's people really out here, right? They be traveling, going places without a passport, without an ID. They travel with their Bibles or their other religious texts because God said, or Jesus said in the Bible, I determine who cometh and goeth. So they use that at the checkpoint to get in and out of each country or each jurisdiction. But
that means that you are a member of the Catholic Church and you know how to use your passport.
Right. You
know how to use the authority of the church to get you wherever you want to.
Right.
There's some stuff they got to tell them with that too. Now, that ain't all of it. But it's because you're a good representative of the church. All of the clergy got a clergy pass wherever they go.
Exactly.
Right. When you go to a hospital and they say that nobody can go in the ICU, and you hold up your clergy pass, they can say, let the clergyman through. Right? Because they can't stop a clergyman from coming in because he might have to give you your last rites according to your tradition.
Yep.
So he had to have unrestricted access to places everybody else can't go. He can cross borders unmolested because he's an agent of the church.
Right.
So they know what they're doing, but there's a certain way you got to use it. And only the ones who practice it know how to use it, or else everybody be using it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right.
And then most of them was probably instructed not to teach anybody else how to use it because it's passed down in the priesthood. This is how you get from country to country with no passport.
Exactly.
It's a clergy pass.
Yep. But everything is being dismantled though, day by day. I can't wait for this shit because I've been waiting for it for a long fucking time. And so have our ancestors. Our ancestors, this is what people gotta understand. People be so afraid, but you literally gotta understand something. Your ancestors waited for this time period. This is the time period that they prayed for. And if you keep giving in to that fear mongering shit on the TV, oh, we at the end of the age, the earth is in bad shape. No, it's not. It's in bad shape for their asses.
It's clean enough for us.
Yeah, it's clean up for us.
So
it's
look,
a beautiful time for us.
You know, Trump already announced a year-long festival. I'm serious. He already announced the World Fair because that's where we're going to unleash all of the technology and healing shit that they've been keeping secret.
Yeah.
It's going to be revealed at the World Fair. All that, it's a year-long celebration. Now, we're looking at a timeline between now and January of 2025. They have to have an infrastructure fully in place to be able to facilitate the type of international travel expected. He already announced dignitaries is going to be coming from around the world.
Yep.
Right? All of them coming to America. Why in the fuck do they want to come here? The worst reputation of all of the countries in the world, America got that motherfucker. Why would dignitaries want to come here?
Yep.
Something good got to be about to happen.
Yep.
To make the people around the world want to flock to America, all of the people of high standard and status among their own people, they want to come visit some motherfuckers in America. What the fuck we gonna have going on? The biggest Mardi Gras motherfucker ever seen in their goddamn life. The biggest Los Carnival motherfuckers gonna be feeding everybody for free.
Yep.
You gonna be able to walk down the street, somebody gonna be barbecuing, having a cookout or something.
Same
You just
thing.
gonna be able to walk and get a plate.
Yep.
Let's go see the neighborhood. It's gonna be all love. Cause we gonna remember who the fuck this shit belonged to, and we gonna know we got it back.
Yep. Yep. I believe that.
And if we ain't happy, ain't shit moving. So whatever we got coming, we gonna be happy about it.
Exactly.
We gotta be. Now remember, we the ones who ain't never made no treaties with them motherfuckers. We the outlaw tribes, the belligerent tribes to the corporation. So we the ones they got to satisfy. The ones that made the treaties with them don't have to be satisfied because they made the treaties with them. But you know what? Somebody had to hold the bear while we figure out how to slay this motherfucker. And that was the purpose of the treaty tribes.
Yeah.
Hold the bear and keep the motherfucking paper trail alive. That's going to help us remember. The rest of us going to figure out a different way because there's more than one way to skin a cat. It's more than one way to shoot a gat, and there's more than one way to slay this goddamn dragon. So if y'all hold the head, I'm going to skin this motherfucker from neck to asshole. When I get done dissecting him, there won't be no doubt about it, y'all going to be holding the head of a dead entity. And that's all they got left.
Yep. Yep.
Anything else, babe?
No, I'm done, man. I appreciate you so much, Rod, all the time. Thank you for all the knowledge you drop, and it's always good to be on here. So, hey,
It's good seeing you. I'll be checking you out. I won't be saying nothing though.
Yeah. I'll check you too. All right, much love.
All right, sweetie. Yahoo, right? Most of us don't know. The Mossad is the Israeli Secret Service. Every one of us that's interested in knowing what's going on is a book called By Way of Deception. And it's written by a retired Mossad agent against the orders of the Mossad. And I don't even know if he's still living. But he was highlighting something called the Operation Exodus, right? And Operation Exodus was going on in the 80s. And they was bringing Falasha Hadendawa tribe members from Ethiopia, and they was airlifting them into modern day Israel in order to justify their position on the land by incorporating the original so-called tribes from the land and repatriating them back to Gaza, which is the underlying justification for wiping out the Philistines, aka the Palestinians, right? This was all 100 years earlier with the Balfour Declaration in World War One. This is all part of the culmination of the Balfour Declaration. And pale people, that's not true. He was killing any one of the dirty Moors he caught, whether they was a mulatto or not. They just showed you the mulatto branch of the family tree, but they don't show you the Negro branch of the family tree. The dirty Moors, them dark nappy head motherfuckers he was executing, they don't tell you about. Right? He knew what he was up against, and the Jewish rabbis say, what's the first two laws he passed before he took power? Right? The first one of the first ones was no interest on the money. If you take the interest off the money, that kills something called inflation, and it undermines central banking thievery process. Yeah. So anyway, so let me get back to this. Get to reading these comments, and y'all be to send me off on a tangent in another direction. Okay, so once Palestine was decided on, it's not the first location on the list. You got to remember that as well. When the United Nations was trying to establish the so-called homeland for these people, don't exist nowhere in history for real, right? They made up everywhere they go. They not native to nowhere on earth. Where they come from? Critical thinking. Where did they, if they not native nowhere on the planet, where did they come from? There's only two places they could come from if they not native nowhere. They either coming from a laboratory or they coming from outer space. Whichever one of them it is, they don't have a superior claim under the grandfather clause than the ones who was already here when they was created, brought here, or wherever the fuck they from. They got us fighting these little mini wars that keep us handicapped, resources depleted, and it keeps us scattered so we can't unify and bust their ass upside the head once and for all. Look, America, the United States, Ronald Wilson Reagan, George Herbert Walker Bush, and Oliver North was prosecuted for the Iran-Contra Guns for Drugs program. We got a short-term memory because we don't remember Iran-Contra. With Iran-Contra, they got convicted and they got what they call censured. That means they slapped them on the wrist and said, don't you do that no more, and get caught. Oliver North got the worst sentence. I think he got 2 years probation and 1 day in prison or jail. Right? So they got caught in their law. I didn't write this law. I'm just going to tell you what it say. It says the government cannot create a crime, lure the citizen into the criminal activity, and then arrest and prosecute the citizen for the crime that the government established to begin with. That's their law, not mine. It's a violation of the United States Code 1984, color of law. And the government cannot go in disguise, operating on the highways with under the color of law with the express purpose of depriving the people of a right. The police job is to detain and arrest anybody. There are no restrictions. Anybody that they deem is committing a criminal act. You gotta remember that. Because the criminal acts that the outlaw tribes are guilty of is refusal to do business with the foreign entity and agents, refusal to sign treaties with liars and backbiters and backstabbers. This is what we're guilty of, right? So we already hostile to the corporation, and the only reason I'm telling you this is because the Supreme Court said those non-treaty tribes are hostile to the United States survival. They invented a whole combatant program called counterintelligence program. If you counterintelligence, what are you enforcing if it ain't ignorance? Right? If you centralize intelligence, it's all focused on one point. But we don't pay attention to the words because we don't know what words mean. Half these motherfuckers that come out here talking trash to Rod Hayes have never looked up the most simplest words they use in their day-to-day language and swear they know exactly what they talking about, and they don't have a fucking clue. Ricky Ross was a prime example, and if y'all remember, the police that brought Ricky Ross' case to the forefront, which also served in being party to his liberation from the system, was none other than the original investigator of the Christopher Wallace homicide, known as Detective Poole. His name was Poole. And he came out, and he was the one who told that his investigation led him to discover that it was corrupt police officers involved in the drugs program with the CIA and the FBI, which was a drug trafficking